Bruins as we get a rematch of last year's NCAA first round. Through their first 5 games of the season, Lauren Betts wins the tip, and away we go. Lead referee Doug Knight, Corey Long, and Teresa Turner, the 2 umpires here on this Sunday for this matinee as Rice throws up a wild shot, and the rebound brought down by Michaela Cunningham. It'll be fascinating to see how the Jaguars come out. This is the 4th ranked opponent that they have played to start the season on the road, as the mid-range jumper too strong, but corralled for Deshante Edwards. Good early sign for the Jags, making the trip out west. They've played at Iowa State, even Ole Miss to begin this season. Cunningham down to 4. On the crossover, throws it up. It's an air ball. Tried to be kept alive by Jalea Reed, and it was last touched by the Bruins with 1.2 to shoot.
Cunningham got some space with that big swinging crossover. You don't see Jaquez give up that much space usually.
Oh, Hurston hits it as the shot clock expires. Perhaps an auspicious start for the Jags on the road. And the first 2 points go to the road team in dramatic fashion.
Good defense and better offense there for Hurston. Shot right over the outstretched arms of Jaquez.
They skip it to Dugalich, baseline jumper, knocks it in. Again, the 2nd start of the season for the 6th-year player, 5th season with the Bruins for Dugalich. She has been so good throughout her career, has really developed her low post game, but has always been able to stroke it from the outside.
Dugalich and Betts have a thunder and lightning dynamic in that front court. She spaces the floor, Dugalich, and can hit those jump shots.
Demaya Porter flipped back to Edwards. Edwards with a burst inside. Again, shot clock winding down for Hurston. Got to look up with 1. Great defense and the tough shot off the rim. And held on to for Lauren Betts. That's going to be the challenge. Getting those clean looks underneath the basket. The high-low game works out. And Dugalich with the first 4 for UCLA.
That's the evolution of Lauren Betts' game. She has such gravity on offense. The defense always attracted to her. This year she's been improving her passing game. Great pass there to find a wide open Dugalich.
Cunningham to Porter, 15-footer, and that's softly gonna go through. So Southern coming out looking great, 1-3 on the season. 4th true road game of the year. Ledger Walker on the step through, takes it all the way to the cup. So dangerous this season, having 2 All-American point guards in Charlize Ledger Walker and Kiki Rice. Most teams dream about having 1, let alone 2 ball handlers like that. Porter picks it up, and a traveling violation.
Early in this one, the Jags are looking for the soft spaces in between, the holes in between this UCLA defense, and that time the Bruins did a better job of blocking off all the passing angles, nowhere to go.
Just the 2nd time the Bruins have had a chance to play in front of their home crowd. They've been on the road so much as Betts just bowling her way inside. Thought she should have earned an and 1, and an 8-4 start for the Bruins. The reigning National Defensive Player of the Year with the contest, and that settles in for Deshante Edwards, able to knock it over the 6'7" Betts.
That's the give and take we're gonna see in this game. Bruins have the height advantage, Southern has the speed.
Jaquez inside. She was 7 for 7 against South Florida. She's fouled on the floor, tracking her single season, and she came back for a reason. As Gianna Neepkins checks in for the first time. First time she's coming off the bench in this campaign, as they throw it underneath to Betts again. Had that early seal position. 2 buckets for Lauren. And it's just going to be so hard for the Jags to contain her. Anaja Hall is the tallest player on this Jags team at 6'5". She's not out there. And that 3 from Delancey, no good. Bruins leaking out and running on the other end. Ledger Walker able to get the finesse.
Bruins secure the rebound. Ledger Walker does a great job filling in the lanes, running that fast break.
Sat out all of last season as she was rehabbing from an injury. Hurston's jumper, no. Collected by Neepkins. But she's healthy. First full season here in Westwood. Jaquez with a clean look. Rarely misses that. Moose tries to keep it alive. And it's going back. And again, Jaquez was 7 for 7 against South Florida with 17 points. You almost get surprised now when she misses open looks like those.
That's the start of the season that Gabriela Jaquez has been having, really adding that next layer to her game. She already did all the dirty work for this Bruins team, and with Ledger Walker coming in, that took away some of her ball handling opportunities, opens up some more shooting opportunities for her.
Jocelyn Tate nearly fumbled it. Lena Bilic in off the bench, the freshman for the Bruins. Delancey hoists, and the rebound to keep Neepkins. Utah transfer still trying to fit in. And a tie-up. Going to give set to be able to be focused, to develop that one extra good habit that can carry you throughout an entire year. And obviously the dominance that they've had over the last 4 years, back-to-back 27 win seasons, and then last year 34. Jocelyn Tate with the catch, whipped out in the wing, that three in and out for Cunningham. And Jaquez, who even as a guard, tied for the most rebounds per game on this Bruins team with 7.8. You got a lot of really talented rebounding guards. Rice, cross court into the corner. Neepkins buries the three. She did a lot of that at Utah, hit over 290 with the Utes. Pours one in for UCLA.
You can see the chemistry growing with every game that Neepkins plays in the blue and gold. That time, Kiki Rice with a great one-handed swing pass to find her wide open in the corner.
One of the two major transfer additions for this team, as Delancey's three's off the mark. 2 straight defensive boards for Gabriela Jaquez. Again, led the Bruins in scoring with 17 points in their last win over South Florida. Part of a tournament in which they knocked off number 11 North Carolina. Neepkins accelerates down the middle, left it short, and Delancey pulls it down.
So far, the Jaguars are hanging in the rebounding game, not far behind UCLA, and on offense, they're getting shots up, getting to the right spots.
7-0 run for the Bruins, playing hellacious defense, and Delancey sneaks it up and in for 2. Somehow found a window, and that snaps a 7-0 UCLA run. Just trying to stay within arm's reach. Jaquez with the spin, wild shot, 50-50, and Muse underneath is tied up. Possession arrow, though, will keep it here with UCLA, as Angela Dugalich will come in to replace Jaquez. And again, obviously all the attention goes to Lauren Betts in the paint. But when you have Amanda Muse, who's 6'4", able to provide respites now and again, it's just such a luxury.
And this especially right now is a tall 5 for UCLA. If Kiki Rice is the shortest on the court, that's a physically imposing set right there.
Demaya Porter tripped Rice, so Kiki will head to the line. And again, when you think of string of dominance that UCLA has had, you can't encapsulate it without Kiki Rice. She's meant so much to this program, part of that heralded 2022 #1 rated class, along with Gabriela Jaquez, but she's been a starter since day one with this program.
And beyond what she brings in the stat sheet is the way she carries herself when the game is not happening, how early she's getting to Pauley Pavilion, and the trends that she starts within this UCLA team, making everyone around her work harder. She's a fantastic basketball player, but it's her killer mentality that is really elevating her and the rest of this UCLA squad.
That was the second personal on Demaya Porter, by the way, making her second start of the season, first since the opener against Iowa, as Neepkins is called for the reach-in. That's her first and the first team foul against the Bruins. Already a couple of wins over top 12 teams for UCLA. They knocked off number 6 Oklahoma. We talked about North Carolina. And in the Players Era Women's Championship this week, as the Bruins defense force a 5-second inbounding violation, they're taking on number 4 Texas, potentially number 2 South Carolina, and then they return back to host number 8 Tennessee. Talking to them at practice on Friday, they said this is a big week. Bilic can't hit. Rice wrestles down the offensive board. Bilic tries again, and this time able to knock it down. Largest lead of the game for UCLA.
It's got to be so fun being a shooter on this UCLA team because you get great passes, great service, and if you miss, you got great rebounders to get it right back to you.
Delancey misfires. Bruins trying to extend this 10-point lead. Ledger Walker with the look off. Goes over the top of the backboard. All she can do is grin about it. But the freshman Lena Bilic out of Croatia on the reload, able to knock it down for UCLA.
Those corner three-pointers are always going to be open for UCLA with how they attack the offensive board and how Kiki Rice and Lauren Betts like to play their offensive game a little more centrally. Look at this. Dugalich, does she get an assist for this?
Well, it certainly takes a lot of gall to be able to use the mop to knock it through. And we got to enjoy that. Listen, she knows these rims well. 5th season here at Pauley. Sixth season of college basketball for Angela Dugalich. Stolen away by Betts. Ledger Walker keeping those eyes peeled forward. Open look for Bilic again, and Bilic rattles in 2 in a row. A 12-point lead for UCLA with 80 ticks to play in the first.
The Bruins are picking apart the Jags 3-2 zone right now. How do you beat the zone? Find the wings and the corner threes.
Third three-pointer in this first quarter for UCLA. Tate cut off, forced to kick it back out. Edwards defended beautifully by Ledger Walker. Down to 4. Lague's got to get to work. Got tripped up at the free throw line. Bruins trying to get out and run. Up ahead for Bilic, and Ledger Walker able to tightrope the baseline, keeps it in play. There's that ferocious defense that we're accustomed to seeing. And as we head into the final seconds of the opening quarter on this Sunday matinee here in Westwood. Kayla Cunningham still looking for her first shot. Hurston quickly spins away from Betts. Open look for Destiny Dixon. This is off the front rim. Bruins will hold for the final shot. Ledger Walker with 4, with 3, hung in the air, ball batted around. Betts gets it off in time, and that'll do it for the opening quarter. A 22-9 lead for number 3.
We came into Pauley Pavilion confident today, getting to their shots, tailed off a little bit at the end of the first quarter, but you can tell this Jags team has certainly got swag.
Yeah, picked to win the conference ahead of Alabama State, Jackson State, Texas Southern. As that 3 from Edwards comes up empty. Rebound to Betts.
But a lot of times, teams that play UCLA, they can't even get shots up. They can't get any open shots. The Jags are getting open shots right now.
Jaquez entry pass got tipped, scooped up by Dugalich. No look pass in the corner. Bilic for 3. And Dugalich again saw herself open, flipped it back up, and it's halfway down and out. And the Jags have numbers if they can push with Cunningham. Good cross court. Destiny Dixon underneath, blocked inside. Bruins on the run. Jaquez to the trailer. Ledger Walker for 3. And a foul on the floor. Both sides fighting for it. I believe this is going against the Jags. That's Deshante Edwards being tallied with the personal. Coach Close said something interesting when I talked to her on Friday about how to avoid the complacency. She said, other teams are focusing on how to beat us. We are focusing on how to be us, which is a very different level of commitment. Pick and roll. Eepkins with the entry. Preseason All-American going to work. It's Betts, fouled on the hook shot, and she will head to the line. And Graham, when you look at this UCLA team and how they've elevated themselves into the upper echelon of teams with the South Carolinas, with the UConns, what makes what they've been able to do in recent years so special to you?
Well, I think it's how meteoric their rise has been because, as we said, when the Bruins were getting their rings for that Final Four trip last year, that's as far as they've been. This is the peak of where they've been at, where you talk about UConn, South Carolina, other big programs have been doing this for some time. It's really been recent that UCLA has shot to the top of the women's college basketball world. A few really good recruiting classes and transfers, and Coach Close getting her team to buy in and stick around in Westwood has really changed the game.
Lauren Betts said that she feels this team has more maturity than last year's team. That's why they're more poised to make a deep run. Naja Hall, first touch for her at 6'5", and 3-second offensive violation in the key. It's a turnover for the Lady Jags.
Lauren Betts on defense is a little bit like Victor Wembanyama. When you get the ball and she's near you, you rethink everything. I don't know if I can pass it and get it off. I don't know if I can shoot it. That's how you have players just standing still, and that leads to the lane violation.
Certainly is such a presence inside. Reigning National Defensive Player of the Year, unanimously, by the way. Eepkins tees it up. Long rebound to Ledger Walker. Betts calling for it. Oh, what a pass inside. Knifing her way for two, Gabriela Jaquez. You overlook the fact that she's leading this team in scoring this season. About 15.5 points per contest.
And it's because there's never a bad time to have Gabriela Jaquez on the floor. She can play guard, forward. She gets in your face on defense. She makes good passes. She can shoot the jump shot now. She just always has a good reason to have Jaquez out there.
Tempo for UCLA. Eepkins, again, a former All-American as well. Opts not to take the three. Betts from the elbow, knocks it down. Great ball movement as the Bruins open up a 19-point lead.
Lauren Betts adding that high post jumper catch and shoot to her game just completely gives opposing defenses zero chance now.
You always knew what she could do in the post, but those are the kinds of skill sets that if she can hit those with regularity are going to make her a huge problem at the next level. Stepping in to intercept it was Ledger Walker. 3-on-2 for Rice. Rice taking it herself, and Rice lays it in. Coast to coast for number one.
You can't find a tighter handle on either coast than Kiki Rice. Keeps it so close to her. Even in traffic, she pulls off the in-and-out dribble to the left-handed layup. About building up relationships between these two programs on opposite sides of the country and creating a relationship where you can continue to have these matchups and both teams get better, especially for Southern. Only positives coming and challenging themselves so much in the season.
Reed's got to put it up with one. And the ref will not say play on. Shot clock violation. An 8-0 start for UCLA in this second quarter. They've really clamped down here in this period.
You really could tell on that last defensive possession. The Jaguars have done a good job running their offense and getting their plays where they can get open shots. That's the first time where we see the UCLA defense really lock in and they can't even get a shot up in time.
Bilic hoists and hits the three. The third in this first half for the freshman. And I think that was an elbow to the neck area when Hall was trying to clear out space on Muse underneath. She was trying to get that post position. And it won't be elevated to anything more than a common foul. But that infraction was committed right in front of the ref.
I think this is why, Jonah, you're seeing Corey Close roll out more forwards, more front court players than usual. When they're playing undersized teams, sometimes they have trouble getting past the contact that they're getting. Right now, they're getting good exposure.
Bilic tried to loft it in, and a tie-up on the floor with Reed. Possession arrow keeps it with UCLA. That's a career high now for Lena Bilic. 9 points, all threes for the freshman out of Croatia. Was considered a phenom back in her home country, was really impressive playing on her junior national team level this past summer. Earned her country a promotion to the Tier 1 tournament as Neepkins with 2 out to Rice. At the horn, in and out. Duglic had an opportunity to go back up with it. The step through lefty lay, no. Rice there for the second change and puts it up and in. An 11-0 blitz in this second quarter. There's a foul away from the basketball. First personal on Amanda Muse.
Shortest player on the court for the Bruins, doesn't matter. Kiki Rice is also the toughest, getting big down low for UCLA.
Coach Close has stressed the importance of the guards rebounding it, mostly defensively, but they'll take the offensive rebounds as well. Jags still looking for their first points of this quarter. They've been put in a straitjacket so far by this UCLA defense. As the shot clock again winds down. Tough catch for Lagwe with 4. That 3 off the side of the rim for Reed, and Rice pulls it down. 13-0 in the quarter, making it 15 straight for UCLA. Neepkins rifled it underneath to 32.
Angela Duglic is on the floor for her speed and her shooting, and that time she combines the speed with her height, running the floor, getting it up down low.
3 straight games with 10 plus as Rice slaps it away. It'll stay with Southern. Grad student.
Great defense turning into quick offense. UCLA is excited every time they pull down a defensive rebound, every time they force a turnover to get down to the other side and score a bucket.
He's got 6 points in this first half. 15-0 in this quarter. Cunningham on the step through, too strong. Bruins have numbers again. And a reach in. Defending Betts. I believe that's on Jalea Reed. That's what makes Betts so unique, her ability to run the floor as a big. Takes so much endurance and stamina. Duglic pops out for 3 and cashes it in. 9 points for Angela Duglic as the Bruins have opened up a 31-point cushion, and they have continued to hold Southern scoreless in this second quarter.
And they are constantly looking for the 3 ball right now, driving just to dish it right back out to behind the arc.
Having championship aspirations in this special campaign. The step through from Lagwe off the front rim, but it's a daily thing. Rice racing out, and Delancey with the block underneath. And what makes UCLA so special is the fact that they play such a selfless brand of basketball. And Coach Close said, you can't carry over your choice from yesterday. You got to choose to do it again today. And we've seen the depth of this roster and just how selfless they've been already in this first half.
Looking back to that matchup that these two teams had in the first round, Southern and UCLA actually tied in the second quarter. Both teams scored 15. I wonder if Corey Close made sure that her team was gonna come and put pedal to the metal in the second quarter especially.
Yeah, it was a 12-point game at the break. Whipped out to Douglas again from straight on. And Betts slaps it to Cunningham. She's really developed playing out of the double team a lot better the last 2 years here in Westwood, has Lauren Betts. They find a way to get Cunningham going. Hurston's been a non-factor. She's on the bench. Demaya Porter with 2 fouls. And the Cal State Fullerton transfer in Lagway trying to make something happen. Delancey with a low catch. Quick release, no. And a foul on the floor against Betts, who can't believe it, trying to box out Demaya Porter in the paint.
This is something that Lauren Betts is gonna have to get used to, and already you can see the improvement in dealing with these smaller players that defend her.
Coach Close having a smile with the ref. Certainly close call, you could say.
But that's the difference between last year's Bruins and this year. They can laugh about it this year and move on to the next play. Last season, they were struggling getting around that double and sometimes triple team.
Hop step from Ledger. Walker induces the whistle, and she'll head to the line. The intensity and the ferocity with which they're playing defense right now in the second quarter is truly impressive.
And the pace with which they turn that defense into offense is really blown me away today. UCLA and Coach Close definitely being intentional in how quick they're getting their shots up in this first half.
Coach Close actually showed the team a video of Nick Saban talking about how outcomes are distractions, kind of focusing on when you focus on the outcomes, that's when you can kind of grow complacent, not wanting that to creep into this team, especially in a game like this. 42-9, 0 points in this second quarter for the Jags. Lagway trying to slash inside, blocked by Betts, corralled by Jaquez. Just smothering defense here in this second. Douglas, boy, she's got more time than she knows what to do with it. Shrugs her hands, puts her hands up and says hallelujah. Another 3 for Angela Douglas.
The closest defender to her that time was Lauren Betts, and Lauren said shoot it, the crowd said shoot it, Angela said I'm gonna shoot it.
12 points. An impressive performance. Delancey can't end the cold streak. Snatched by Ledger Walker. An unprecedented quarter. Bilic in the corner, yes sir! 4th hit of the first half for the Croatian sensation.
The pass is just as pretty. Ledger Walker tricked the entire defense with her eyes and floated the pass the other way.
Cunningham throws it up. That one lips out. And are we going to go the entire quarter with no points for the Jags? That is on the possibilities list. 3-second differential in this dominant and complete first half for UCLA. Walker, the dump down to a diving Betts, fouled, and she will head to the line. And we've seen a lot of dominant defensive performances, but not quite like this.
They made a switch, and ever since they went from that 3-2 zone to the 2-3 and mixing in a little man-to-man, the Jags just have not been able to keep up. And with UCLA putting on the pressure with their pace on offense, Southern can't catch a break.
49-9, 7.6 to play. Trying to close out the first half. Blanketing Southern. Here comes Cunningham across the timeline with 2. Half. She was the team's leading scorer, averaging 13 a night coming into this contest. They quickly run action for her, and she is double teamed, throws it away. Jaquez up ahead, running the floor is Rice. Jump stop, foul, and one. The price is Rice for Kiki. Chance at 3 to open up the third quarter.
One of Kiki Rice's greatest strengths is her strength. She knows she's got a defender on her back, so throw out a pump fake, take the contact, make it and one.
Kiki Rice, a vital part of this UCLA program, helping to elevate what they've accomplished the last couple of years. Was a finalist for the Nancy Lieberman Point Guard of the Year last year, having a career season in points and just overall impact, you could say, to start this season, as the up and under no good, and the drought continues offensively for Southern. Rice trying to push. Free throw line jumper settles in. 4-0 Rice run to open the third quarter.
UCLA assistant coach Tasha Brown leaped off her seat and applauded that one, and that's the growth of Kiki Rice. She's always been fast, she's always been pesky on defense, but the gall to pull off the pull-up jumper in traffic.
And Reed is able to settle in the three that snaps a 32-0 run for UCLA. That's the first Jags point since the first quarter. And they received a little bit of a sarcastic applause from the fans. And you have to appreciate them coming out here and battling UCLA to the best of their abilities, as Betts was fouled in the paint. And again, this is about developing confidence and getting this team experience heading into SWAC play. This is a daunting place to play here at Pauley Pavilion, where UCLA has received so much support over the years. And hopefully that can unlock a little bit more of the offense for Southern, as Rice with a late dump off to Dugalich, and everything went right for her in the first half, unable to finish that one off. And Southern has opened up the season, taken on 4 ranked teams of their first 5. They beat Tougaloo College in their home opener, as Hurston was fouled on the pass. That helped them collect their first win of the season. But that graphic tells the story. Bruins led by 12 at the break in the NCAA tournament last year. Hurston had it poked away, too strong for Porter, and the stick back is good. So 2 buckets in this third quarter for Southern, and it's back to a 40-point game.
Jags secured their 5th offensive rebound there. A little more of that, shooting early in the shot clock and crashing the boards hard to try and get a second chance.
Open look for Jaquez. Betts with the offensive rebound and an easy 2. No resistance underneath. And again, it's interesting, you and I were talking during the break if we would see a lot of Anaja Hall, considering she is 6'5". We haven't seen a lot of her so far in this game. Battling a little bit of foul trouble with 2, but you would have expected to see her start the third.
So interesting to see how every team that comes into Pauley Pavilion tries to find an answer for Lauren Betts. Right here, Betts just has her hands up trying to avoid the foul, and you know she's gonna get back on the other side. Love when the forward just takes one extra dribble, big dribble down low to ensure that she's gonna put it up and in. Lauren Betts all about her craft.
Shot clock winding down to 6. Cunningham. Reed, they swing it. Edwards takes a peek up, and that'll be another shot clock violation. But the ref allows the Bruins to play with the numbers. And Jaquez had it poked from behind. Rare turnover committed by the Bruins, just their 2nd of the game. Porter. Cut off. Reed from the corner. No. If you're Southern, obviously you're staring at a 42-point deficit right now, Graham, but what should be their focus for this second half?
Focus for the Jaguars just has to be having no fear when they go down low. On that last possession, they were able to get Betts up in the air with the pump fake, but they were fearing that she was going to come and swat it on the second attempt. Just having faith in your moves. Once you get a little space, shoot it or pass it. Keep fighting on offense.
On the horn it goes. Double to Betts. Kick out to Jaquez from the wing. Batted back out to Rice. Elbow jumper is good for number 1. 6 third-quarter points for Kiki.
Kiki Rice has foresight, always knows what she's gonna do before it happens. You could tell by the footwork there, she was gonna take a dribble and walk into a smooth midi.
And with that bucket, she has eclipsed 1,400 career points here at UCLA. Edwards short, stays with Reed. Out to Cunningham for 3 off the back of the iron. Tracked down by Rice.
That's better, though, from Southern, taking the open shots the defense gifts you.
Playing with a lot more confidence in this third quarter, reaching against the Jags. And obviously you have to alter some of the expectations coming into the second half, considering what the score was. But this was a 13-point game at the end of the first quarter. And then the Bruins put on the clamps defensively as Lagway will check back in for Southern. But this is what dominant teams do when they play what appears to be an inferior opponent. You have to take it to them immediately. And that's something that Coach Close has talked about, being the aggressor, wanting her team to come out aggressive and delivering that first blow. Baseline jumper settles in for Betts. Perfect dish from Rice.
It's getting to the point where anywhere inside the three-point arc is in range for Lauren Betts. The jump shot continues to grow for her.
13 points, 5 rebounds for Lauren. Tipped up in the air. Eepkins imploring the team to push. The trailer. Dugalich. Can't hit that time.
Part of the reason Southern is struggling so hard, it seems like the Bruins change their defensive formation every single time down the court. Sometimes they're in 3-2, sometimes it's a 2-3 zone, sometimes it's man-to-man, and the Jaguars can't keep up right now.
Has there been one that you've seen to be more effective for UCLA?
Well, the 2-3 has been the best, but it's just the fact that they keep on changing the looks every time.
Former Cal State Fullerton Titan playing in the Big West, now in the SWAC. Tough catch for Hall. It just lips out, follows her own miss, and the second chance goes down for Anaja Hall. They need to find a way to get her involved. She has the ability to be an X factor, the junior center out of Alpharetta, Georgia, but it's just so tough when you have Kiki Rice hitting it from around the paint and stroking it from deep. The 8th three-pointer of the game for UCLA.
You look at almost every Bruin and you say they had this last year, they were phenomenal last year. Here's how they've gotten better this season. For Kiki Rice, like a lot of Bruins, it's improving that three-point shot.
And it's impressive considering she underwent shoulder surgery mid-April of last year, had to rehab the entire summer, but that patience. She wants to play, wants to come back. Coach Close had to text her personally and say, as much as I'd love to have you in November, we need you more in February and in March. Stay patient and your time will come. Obviously so hard when you face top-ranked opponents this week. Catch and shoot for Neepkins, no. Tapped underneath to Ruse, secured by Neepkins. Second try, falls in the hands of Bilic from the short corner. Flips it up and in, and the freshman's got 14.
The unselfishness has been a sight to behold for UCLA today. Case in point, Gianna Neepkins, who can drop 20 in the blink of an eye, coming off the bench today, hasn't had to shoot a lot. She's able to get her teammates involved and let them see their jump shots fall.
Gianna still doesn't feel like she's hit her flow state yet, still thinks she's overthinking a little bit, but that's to be expected when you join a new team with tons of talent.
That's the difference for her this season. She's been fantastic as the lone star for some great Utah teams, and now she's working on finding her role when she doesn't get the ball every single possession, and it makes her possessions even more crucial for UCLA.
Dugalich steps out and sinks the 3. The third three-pointer for Angela Dugalich, and she's got 15 points.
And how about 5 assists for Neepkins? They're switching roles there. Usually Neepkins the sharpshooter and Dugalich the more supplementary role. UCLA has no problem switching it around.
Coach told Neepkins, this is your dress rehearsal. This is what it's going to be like when you play in the W, having to share the wealth. Tate, hop step, Delancey up and under, sneaks it through Dugalich for 2. Fancy finish for the senior. Nice feed from Tate, ball got knocked loose. Ledger with the no-look drop. Whoa! Night vision goggles in the daytime for Ledger Walker.
Bruins have been dicing and crossing up the defense, not with their dribbling, but with their passing, easily going across court, and Char Ledger Walker has been the best example of that.
Tremendous pickup from Washington State. Top 3 in scoring in Cougars history as Tate was fouled on her drive.
Through the madness, Ledger Walker goes around her defender. Looks like she's gonna dribble it. Instead, it's a one-handed bounce pass.
It's truly a coach on the floor. Gained a new perspective when she sat out all of last season. Understands how to communicate more effectively with her teammates because she got to see how the coaches did it all of last season.
It's obvious the way that she's stepped into this starting lineup, and not only is she not missing a step, but she is elevating the offense herself.
And shot clock down for Lagway. That zone posing problems, and an air ball for the former Titan. Most of their ball movement has stayed along the perimeter. They've had a hard time being able to penetrate in the paint.
It's because UCLA has been rolling out this 3-forward rotation right now where they're just dominating height-wise under the bucket.
Bruins scored a season-high 94 points in their last effort over South Florida. Potentially on pace to crack that here. Dugalich puts it on the floor. Lefty lay for number 32 here at UCLA.
Baby skyhook action for Dugalich, and she is taking over. Every time she comes down the floor, she wants to score.
17 for Dugalich. Tate misses the 2. Coach loves when Dugalich attacks the rim. Doesn't want her to settle for those outside shots, despite the fact that she's been hitting them. Bruins winding down the clock here in the third. And Ledger Walker had it knocked away with 5.1. Great showing here inside Pauley Pavilion. Bruins sold out season tickets this year. Testament to the excellency that they've displayed. It's become really one of the best venues to play a college basketball game. Off the inbounds, Bilic, no. Rebound, Tate takes a peek up. He's gonna have to get it off in time and is fouled by
UCLA's defense. This is the first free throws they've given up this game.
Great point. Yeah, their defense has been so consistent. Jocelyn Tate at the line. Just a sophomore out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. Got 9 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 steals in their last game against Tougaloo College. First win of the season in their home opener. He's able to hit all 3 of them. And at the end of 3.
Usually they like to get a lot of points in the paint. Today, it's clear that their mission is different, and they've been succeeding nonetheless.
Go on to the 4th quarter here at Pauley Pavilion. Boy, what a skip pass from Betts into the corner. Bilic misses the 3, and the follow is fouled on the attempt. Muse will head to the line. Yeah, the challenge has been the consistency. And Dugalich being able to develop into a player that UCLA can depend on every single day. as Muse's first free throw is long. The redshirt sophomore out of Brentwood, a local product. Had 4 points last game, third season here in Westwood. Was actually roommates as a freshman with Megan Grant, who was on the bench for UCLA, and of course a two-time All-American on the softball team. Perhaps we may see her appear today. It would turn into mayhem if she entered in, as Hall is able to get the turnaround jumper to go. She's a fan favorite here in Westwood.
Oh, the chef is fantastic, and on the softball diamond, she is unstoppable. You don't pitch to her. That's how good she is at the plate, and she brings the vibes for sure in Pauley Pavilion.
26 home runs last year, as Ledger Walker can't get the reverse to fall. Again, for Southern, this begins a West Coast trip. They go to Tucson to take on Arizona, then Seattle to play Washington. And go to Houston as that pass was deflected. Stays with Dixon. Delancey skirts inside, right into the mitts, falls in the hands of Tate, who gets the floater to fall. Beautiful concentration from the Jags and from number 4.
Back-to-back possessions with a score, and it's because the Jaguars are starting to lure Lauren Betts out of the paint so they can find some space there.
Ledger Walker on the probe. Hawkes has been quieter tonight. They haven't needed her quite as much. There's Muse again. Just bullying her way for 2 underneath.
We know the Bruins have such talent, but feels overwhelming the depth they have at that forward position that they can bring Muse off the bench to get an offensive rebound and a score at any second, and UCLA is determined to keep developing their bigs.
Muse's dad was a college basketball player for UCSB. 3-on-1, oh, behind the back to Hawkes. And that's perhaps the most pressure-filled layup that Gabriela Hawkes has ever attempted in her life. Had to finish it off the feed from Ledger Walker.
Showtime Charlize Ledger Walker plays with a big smile on every time she gets to give a beautiful dish to one of her Bruin teammates.
Oh, swatted away, a volleyball block for Betts. Calling for it. Hawkes pulls the trigger. Tracked down by Bilic. Hawkes, Bilic setting up on the wing. Another offensive rebound. Boy, they're relentless underneath. And she's called for the travel.
Hall has been avoiding going right at Betts. Lauren says nowhere to run. Great job, Ledger Walker laying it off. Hawkes finger rolls it in. Bruins having fun out here in Pauley Pavilion.
Ledger Walker, 3-time All-American with Washington State. Number 3 in career points. Actually started the first 21 games a couple years ago and suffered a season-ending injury here at Pauley Pavilion before transferring here to join the Bruins. Kind of a full circle moment for her. Cunningham's got it with 7. Free throw line, pull up, rattles it in. Nice looking stroke there for Michaela Cunningham.
Great awareness by Cunningham. She knows that UCLA is waiting for the switch off the screen. She takes advantage of that space to hit the J.
Coach Funchess loved the fight that his team showed on the road at Ole Miss. That's Trinity Rodman's squad. It's a fun year.
Every year that goes on, more Bruins enter the professional sports ranks and continue to tear it up.
Unfortunately, this year they got knocked out by Stanford in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The men's team got bounced at home against Grand Canyon. Betts underneath off the feed from Ledger Walker.
Betts is so good at sealing and taking up that space down low, so by the time she catches the ball, the defender is in no position to stop her.
7th assist for Ledger Walker, tying her season high that she had last game against South Florida. Too strong for Porter, ripped down by Rice. Trailing the play, Neepkins from the wing, that's good. Gianna Neepkins rips the three for UCLA.
Bruins have been working so hard today to create jump shots for players that don't always shoot them, and when you line up a three-point sharpshooter like Gianna Neepkins, looks like what we've been seeing all day long.
Just her second field goal of the game. Nice slip pass to Porter. Snatches her own miss and flips it back up and in. Good finish from Demaya Porter. And started the opener against Iowa. Has come off the bench the last couple of games, and Rice extended the arm. Offensive foul being defended well by Justiny Dixon.
Going back to what you mentioned earlier about Kiki Rice getting that shoulder surgery in the offseason, it's so impressive how she still goes right to that shoulder to try and create space. When she's driving at you, she will go right at you. She doesn't fear the contact, she embraces it, and just shows how hard she worked in the offseason to get to her form that she's in right now.
Two-time All-American. Today was her 110th career start. Everyone always talks about what the presence of Ledger Walker could do for her, having two ball handlers, but it really applies to everyone. It's kind of contagious, being able to create clean looks as Reed's off the front rim. The floor gets opened up so much more for all three of those ball handlers. Jaquez being included in that trio. Snakes her way inside, saw a crease, too strong. Foul on the shot or on the floor. Porter's charged with the personal. And 2 free throws coming for Jaquez. Look at Megan Grant, patiently awaiting her Pauley debut. It might just happen tonight. So in case you needed the spark notes on her, two-time All-American, set the single-season home run record last year with 26, top 10 in the nation, leading UCLA, along with Jordan Woolery and a handful of others, back-to-back Women's College World Series appearances. 55-point lead for UCLA. Marching towards a 6-0 start to open up what could be a very special season. Reed's three tipped out. Rice trying to run, able to evade Reed. The step through, Kiki, do you love me? Bruins say we do. The floater for Cunningham off the glass goes down for 2.
Cunningham taking a page out of Rice's playbook there, but both point guards just navigating through the defense with ease.
Rice has 17. Has that ball on a yo-yo string. Dugalich, no. Snatched by Bilic. Up top to Rice. Another possession. That's blocked away. Nice defense from Porter underneath. Opportunity for some of the starters for Southern to get some run. That shot is short, and Porter cleans up the loose change. So Demaya Porter coming on late for Southern.
The Jaguars' energy level, it's never dropped in this game. They're never getting beat down the court. The effort has been nonstop. Running out of superlatives for Kiki Rice. She just is so calm and confident bringing up the ball. Her determination is so fun to watch on the offensive end.
First appearance for Christina Caramuzzi as Megan Grant is heading to the scorer's table. Freshman Kara Muzi out of Stockholm, Sweden, trying to contain Kiana Wilson. Hall with 5. Got Muse up in the air, short jumper, no. Rebound Bilic. And we will see Megan Grant come in at the next stoppage. Dugalich trying to add to her point total, fouled on the shot. She's got 19.
And she looks like a point guard out there. She's calling ball screens like she's not the tallest Bruin on the court. Next to Amanda Muse, she's doing in and out dribbles, setting up a pull-up jumper. I mean, she is absolutely feeling herself today.
And the softball player of the year, top 25 finalist, Megan Grant, is set to check in after this first free throw. As they're cleaning up a little bit of perspiration with the mop. Perhaps that was the same mop that was used to knock out the ball for that Dugalich used to knock out that ball that was stuck underneath the backboard. This is the first. And we don't see anything yet.
Got to make this one to get in the chef.
And Dugalich does. And in comes the two-time All-American, Megan Grant, second appearance of the season, her Poly debut here in Westwood. Scored 2 points against North Carolina, but that was in Las Vegas. In to close out the final 85 seconds.
Next time down, they got to get her off the ball, pick and roll for a corner 3. We need it.
Lagway dribble handoff to Tate. Curls around, dump down to Hall underneath, and Hall with the jump hook. And we'll see if they listen to you, Graham, and they try to get her a shot. 52-point game, certainly an opportunity to. A little bit behind Muse, who's able to catch up to it. Jaquez on the handoff. Jaquez, the feed underneath to Muse, who's hammered. And she's helped up. And you just get the sense that everyone in the stadium wants that ball to go to Megan Grant. I don't know if there will be enough time. But just seeing her out there from an optics perspective, it's unbelievable to see a two-sport athlete like this. We obviously saw Gabriela Jaquez join the Bruins in their College World Series run 2 years ago as a pinch runner. So it's there's certainly precedent that's been set.
In the modern day of the college athlete, everything that these students have to do on top of being an athlete, all the schoolwork that they have to do at such a rigorous school like UCLA, it is really, really remarkable to have a two-sport player in this day and age.
Kiana Wilson, the senior out of Jacksonville, Florida. 5th appearance for her this season. Got the controls for Southern. Down to 7 for Lagway. Motors inside and lays it up and in. Nice finish for Damani Lagway. And Jaquez will dribble it across the timeline, and UCLA keeps their perfect start to the season alive. Unblemished here at Pauley Pavilion, improving to 6-0. And the third-ranked Bruins take down Southern 88